What's the magic word? Well, you know what that means. But what are some other magic words? And what kind of magic can we do so that presto changeo, our work and lives are in a new place? Please, I used the magic word. Please don't disappear, because we're going to talk about all of this on today's episode of Life's Potluck Buffet. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for joining me. Oh, and if you're enjoying these episodes of Life's Potluck Buffet, please, using the magic word again, like them. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not. That should have made the magic ring of colors appear around the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to this. So maybe a little bit of magic happened. Also, if you have a Brave browser, please consider contributing to Life's Potluck Buffet with John Paulus on YouTube. Thank you for your support, and thank you for listening. So let's talk about some magic words. We already had please, the greatest magic word of them all in the English language. So we've covered that. But let's think about some other magic words. I think maybe the most famous in English, well, in a lot of languages, is abracadabra. Is that what you thought I was going to say? Well, the abracadabra goes back a long way. The first instance of it we have is over 1,800 years old. It goes back to ancient times in the Mediterranean basin, and we have evidence from a text written about medicine in the late 2nd century CE. So that's why I thought 1,800. Yeah, it's about right. 1,800, or a little bit more than 1,800 years old. And it's by a doctor named Quintus Serenus. And Quintus Serenus was what we would probably call today maybe a celebrity doctor. He appears to have been the physician to the Roman emperor at the time, so that's pretty well known. And he's from a place that today is in the modern country of Turkey. And he wrote a treatise about medicine in Latin. And in that treatise, he talks about a type of fever that is so deadly that the Latin speakers won't even give it, seemingly because they don't want to bring into existence this fever. They're so worried about saying the name of the fever that they just use the Greek name for the fever. And that Greek name for the fever, I'm not going to say because no one wants to bring this fever into existence. So, but nonetheless, and it wouldn't matter anyway because, it's not going to help us. Anyway, the idea behind this is that to ward off this fever, one of the ways, besides something about lion fat and wrapping some stuff up in a cat skin, and there's something else. Oh yeah, a coral necklace with emeralds are supposed to draw out the fever. So those are some other ways, but the first way he talks about is one of the earliest printed versions of the word abracadabra we have. And what he says is to write on a piece of papyrus, abracadabra, and then to write it again, but take off the last letter, and then keep on doing that until you're left with just the A. And so it forms this kind of cone shape where you have, or a triangle, where you have the full word, and then each successive line has one less letter until you get to just A. And then you're supposed to wear this around your neck as an amulet. And it apparently wards off this fever. And that is the first time that in writing the word abracadabra may have appeared. The reason I say it may be the first time it's appeared because we don't know what the word abracadabra or the phrase means or what it's related to. There are a lot of speculative etymologies of this bunch of letters or word or whatever it refers to. some people think that it has something to do with the name of a deity that it, when written out in Greek, kind of resembles the first four letters are the same. It's Abra. It's the name of the being is Brasax or something like that. It's not certain where the deity comes from or what the story is. And there's been a lot of speculation about that deity as well, as much as there has been about abracadabra. There are a lot of other etymologies from various other languages around the Mediterranean basin. And again, those are just speculations on where the word abracadabra actually comes from. But the first instance of it that exists, or at least that people have found, is in Quintus Cyrenus's medical text, and as I said, used for warding off a particular type of very deadly fever. But, well, by the 19th century, you started to have this word being used by magicians to be a magic word to use when they do their magic. So that is abracadabra. Another magic phrase in kind of English-ish is presto changeo. That's another one. That's a good one. Presto changeo. Well, the changeo part obviously is some sort of, kind of fake Latin romance version of change in English. Presto is probably meant to be the Italian presto, which means, well, in this case, it would probably just mean quick. So the idea is presto changeo is quick change, ta-da. So finally, there's another magic word that is also, nobody knows where it comes from, seemingly, and it's alakazam. Maybe you've heard that word. I have looked into alakazam, and in the form alakazam with a G instead of a K, because nowadays it's spelled with a K. But in the 19th century, there are some uses of it in as alakazam, and it's a location. And I said, I know it's a location because there's a really interesting piece of evidence from the 19th century, a music magazine, where somebody is complaining about how expensive musicians are to bring to Hawaii. So, well, hello to everyone in Hawaii and my musical friends in Hawaii. Thanks for listening. And and in the complaint, they're like, if musicians get hired in Alakazam, Paris or Budapest, interesting choice of three. They'll be happy with $100, but yet we have to pay like $5,000 for singers. And I think this is also has something to do with politics as well, but I can't quite figure out. So anyway, I found reference to an alakazam, and that is in Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu in modern day India. And there's some reference to these. That's in the very, very southern part of India. And I couldn't find it on a map, but if you are from Tamil Nadu or know about alakazam and what that refers to in Tamil Nadu, please let me know. So that's one possibility of where it came from. It's just like a kind of far away sounding place to people, I guess, who say it, or it sounds like a word from another language, which it is, but not sure which language or what it means. But anyway, that's the closest we can come to figuring out where alakazam comes from. Now it's time to ask the cards to work their magic. And presto changeo, here we go. So we'll use our magic words: yellow lemons, blue dumplings, magenta noodles, cards. Tell us some things. All right, here we go. It's card 52. When it comes to life, we are all Dali. In January 1957, the famously mustachioed artist Salvador Dali appeared on What's My Line, On this game show, blindfolded panelists tried to guess the identity of celebrities by asking questions about their work. Dali's ability to answer yes to questions like, was he an athlete? Did he make drawings like comic strips? And was he a writer? Caused amused confusion among the panelists and a great deal of hilarity in the audience. We are all Dali in the richness of our lives. Understand how you are Dali in this moment and find liberation in that fact. So think about that today. And now it's time for me to disappear. Poof. Wait, where did I go?